Got an email the other day. Person was all like, yeah, my neighbor's gooses got loose and came goosing up into my horse pasture. And then all of my horses saw the gooses and they just like totally went nuts. So in this video today, we're going to show you how to get your horse to where he's not afraid of an inflatable goose that flies with a drone. Maybe. We're going to see what happens. Hey, I'm Carson James, and today we're going to show you how to get your horse to where he's not afraid of an inflatable goose. As you noticed, he definitely knows it's there. The thing we're going to do is take him further away from it, and we're just going to do some things to kind of say, hey, ignore the drone, think about me. So I'll show you what that would look like. So now we're just going to do a little bit of the groundwork stuff. So see how he's looking over there? Watch here. I'll jump over here. There, and just ask him to move here. There, ask him to move his hip, and then look, I'll come to this side. There, ask him to step his hip around. Just anything you can do to start getting him to think a little bit more about you. When a horse is afraid of something, the trick is have it constantly move away from them. That's what builds a horse's confidence in these things. If she was to make it come towards us, you would see him spook and jump back, and I'll show you that. Right, see there, see him get real tensed and braced. So when you're trying to get a horse used to something, the best thing to do is get them to chase it. Teach the horse, say, hey buddy, if you're brave about this thing and you go in and push on it, it will actually yield to you. So getting whatever it is to yield away from them is kind of the trick. Then there, see him get a little bit brave. There, make it run from him. Make it run, make it run, make it run. There, see there, so we can condition what his brain actually goes to when this thing starts doing stuff. All right, so now we're gonna break it down even more. So we've removed the drone. We're using a goose just because it's funny, but I want you guys to kind of see the general concept. It wouldn't matter what the object was, you would go about it the same way. But watch, if I let this thing kind of come towards him, right, see the bother there? Getting it to move away from them is how you get them to be brave, because you're basically showing them that they are the dominant horse in the herd, if that kind of makes sense. So what we're gonna do right here, I know this looks goofy, but so watch here, we're gonna have him come up to it and then we're gonna have it run from him, right? So it's just kind of rinse and repeat. Come up and have him run. So watch here, I'm just gonna keep it moving away from him, right? I'm gonna shorten it back up just a little. And I'm still walking mostly away from him, right? But I'm kind of starting to sort of walk back towards his hip. Then we're still mostly moving away from him, but we just kind of keep doing a 45 back towards his hip. So the logic here is I'm slowly, very slowly letting this thing come more towards him. So now with it over there by his side, it's not really moving away from him, but he can move away from it if he needs to. The moral of this story, see how we're slowly changing the approach of the object as he can handle it? So see, you can start changing your approach with the object like that and let it get to where it's more and more gradually less running from them and more coming towards them. Keeping their feet moving is a big part of what keeps them okay with this stuff. And you might think, well, yeah, that horse just got over it really quick. We've done this with hundreds of horses at clinics. One time a lady said, you will not get a flag within 20 feet of this horse. 5 minutes later, we had him following the flag around. We had him looking like this. And we did that exact same approach and technique. This is all about trying to show you guys how you can approach ropes, saddle blankets, anything that you need your horse to get okay with. Aaron, let it start to chase him. See, he's looking good. I don't feel tightness in his feet. Notice he's not jigging. He's able to walk on a loose rein. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it in a little tighter, make a little more of a straight line to where it chases him a little bit more now, see? So as I turn to the right just a little bit, it's gonna come and be directly behind him. I'm gonna shorten it up a little bit and let it come up here a little closer to his shoulder, just watching his expression, making sure I don't overexpose him. Overexposure would be I do too much and rush it too much, and then he jumps sideways, and then he goes back into that bothered frame of mind. So we're trying to help him stay in this frame of mind, right? Now I'm gonna be a little more, I'm gonna be a little less careless now, right? So I'm just gonna throw it on out there, and then somewhat softly reel it on back in here, throw it on out there, have him put his shoulders right by it. There, we'll walk right by it, and then watch here, I'm even gonna let it let it jump at him a little bit, but not too much, right? People have got to start understanding it's all about the approach of how you do it. If you've ever felt like, hey, I've desensitized my horse to blank every day for the past 4 days and he still doesn't seem any better, it's because of your approach. See how I'm just slowly getting more brazen with it? Fly the goose. Fly the goose. If you really want to know, ask them to move their feet. So, goose in passenger position, I'm going to ask him to walk off. Let's see how he moves. Is he going to walk off like it's not back here? Love it. See how natural that looked? The feet just flowed right forward. Watch the feet. Flow forward. See, he told me right there, I felt him twitch and he dropped his head, and he told me right there, hey, do not snatch on this thing yet. If you do, I'm jumping that way. Guarantee you he would have done it. Here, if you guys, just so you guys don't think I'm like riding a horse, watch this. Right? It's the approach. I don't want you guys to think like, oh, that horse was never afraid of that goose in the first place. He is not completely okay with this. He looks okay because of the approach. You have to start being, lost my string. You got to start being aware of your approach. That's the deal. So in this video, we talk a lot about a horse being in the right frame of mind, meaning the right frame of mind being he's in a mental state to where his self-preservation is not rising up, telling him, or even better yet, forcing him to go into flight mode and be tight and tense and reactive and spooky and prancy and jiggy and not standing still and high-headed, etc., etc. It's a mental state. So having a horse to where he is more and more often basically being taught to get in a habit of always staying mentally sound is probably the number one thing to having a horse that is safe and confident and not spooky, doesn't jig on the trail, not have buddy sour magnets, and all of that kind of stuff. Now, because of that, we have created an entire mental soundness checklist. It's really cool. You can go through there and do these little tests with your horse and basically score him on his mental soundness of where he is currently at. Gives you a really good foundation and something to start building on and improving and working towards. So to get this mental soundness checklist, it's completely free. You can just go right here. You're going to love it. See you next time.